Back on the record at cause number 325122, the state of Texas versus Colvin C. Harper. Now, Mr. Harper, prior to the court going off the record, one, you were sworn in, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you informed the court that you was entering a plea of no contest to the charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you actually informed the court before that that you understood what you've been charged with and you was entering a plea of no contest, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And as well, also, Mr. Harper, you identified State's Exhibit number 1, which was the misdemeanor plea admonishment. You acknowledged that in State's Exhibit number 1, you recognize the document, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you acknowledged that these were your signatures on page 2 of this document. And on page 3 of this document, you acknowledged that that was your signature above the line that says defendant. You also acknowledged to the court that the trial court certification, a defendant's right of appeal, you recognize that document, and that was your signature on this document, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Also, you informed the court that you recognize this discovery certification, and that is your signature on the discovery certification.
Yes, it is.
And then that brings us to the point where we stopped. The court asked you whether or not prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
the State's Exhibit 2 that you have down there isn't going to be the one I'm using. I printed one up here. That's a mistake. That one's not redacted.
Oh, okay. So,
I have State's Exhibit 2 up here that we'll bring down to the court later.
but it's the same affidavit, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. It's just the version that's with the court currently is unredacted. And
Okay.
I have a redacted version.
Okay, now, are you offering State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Dowden, the state is offering State's Exhibit 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit 2, which is the redacted version of the PC affidavit. Do you have any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Dowden, you have advised and counseled Mr. Harper. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Harper,
Yes, sir.
your attorney, Mr. Dowden, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Always.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Harper, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. It's for 60 days to be probated over 1 year, a $750 fine, 60 hours community service, the DWI education course, and drug and alcohol assessment.
Mr. Harper, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs, and that comes to a total of $1,107. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee, $60 each month. You will also be required to pay the Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. And if there's a further evaluation that's needed, you will be required to pay $50. Now, the total monthly installments that you would have to pay per month on this here case is $180. would you be able to pay the $180 installment each month?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let me do this then. Okay, Mr. Harper, are you employed?
No, not right now.
Okay, so you don't have no source of income, okay. Now, are you married? You're not married, no, okay. You don't receive, do you receive child support?
I do not.
Okay, are you receiving like any public benefits like food stamps?
Yes, in California.
Judge,
I'm
he's
saying,
been in-
I'm saying,
Oh.
does he live here?
he's been in a rehab in California that he just got out of and came back for the hearing. So that, I believe that's why he was living in California at that time. He's actually going to be, if probation lets him move to Arizona, his desire is to be in Arizona. If
Okay.
they don't, then he'll be here.
Okay, so currently, are you receiving, public benefits? Like food stamps or anything?
Yes, from the state
Okay.
of California.
How much are you receiving a month?
$204.
204, okay. Any social security benefits or anything? None. No other governmental, checks? Okay. And you have no other source of income, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, now, do you have to pay, rent or anything?
I do. I had a job interview for yesterday, but I could not make it because I had to be here. So,
Okay, so, but are you paying rent?
as of right now, my mom is paying my half. But
Okay.
just for the first like couple of months, I should have a job when I get back.
Okay, so my question is, how much is your rent a month?
560.
560, but you get some help on that?
The total amount of rent is $1,004, but I split it with someone.
1,004,
Yeah.
so that's, you splitting it, so that's 504, 502?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
half of it, right? Okay, so you say 502. Okay, now utilities, you pay any utilities, water,
We
gas,
just,
water, light?
pay electricity.
Well, how much is that amount?
This month it was $180.
Okay, what's your average?
Probably like $70.
70, okay.
Mhm.
Do you have to pay any childcare expenses? You don't,
I do not.
you don't, okay. Now your food expenses, just the what you're getting on SNAP, okay. And, what about transportation costs?
Like just to get around town.
Yes,
I don't drive or nothing, so I
I mean, you have to pay somebody to bring you here?
No, I'm either at the house picking up and doing stuff on the computer looking for a job, or she's at work. And
Okay, so you don't have no transportation costs?
yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cell phone expenses?
I don't pay my bill.
Okay, you don't have no probation fees or anything, do you?
Not that you just gave me.
Okay, no, I'm just saying it on another case.
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay, this is what the court is gonna do. The court is gonna find that you're indigent. And, let's see. Let's see, that's 1,107. Okay, now your fines and probation fees is gonna be converted into community service.
Okay.
Okay, it's gonna be converted into 89 hours of community service,
All right.
okay? And your probation fee,
Yes, sir.
we're gonna reduce that to the minimum, which is $25 instead of $60.
Okay.
It's gonna be $25 per month, okay? And I should do it. Okay, so they're gonna make the adjustments on the judgment. Okay, so your probation fee instead with your fine and cost, instead of being $1,107, it is that, but it's gonna be converted to 89 hours of community service. And then your probation fee, instead of being $60, is gonna be reduced to $25. All right? All right, and that's pursuant. I think it's 4250. and that's pursuant to Article 42.15, the Code of Criminal Procedure. You can, now, let me ask you this here. Do you understand the state's offering and the court's adjustment?
Yes,
And do you think that is fair and just?
yes, I do.
And do you accept it?
I do.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you've entered into with the state. Stand over here on the X, and they will get you your paperwork.
Thank you, guys.
All right.